In this video, I'm going to try making the most complicated tabas squishy in the world. This is a fusion of normal and clear silicone with working LED lights. As you can see, there are no wires or battery packs sticking out, so it's still super fun and satisfying to play with. The design, of course, is inspired by Mochi Meow from the Roblox game Adopt Me. Many of you might have seen these dango penguins that I made on TikTok. I've recently started playing Adopt Me and I love the character design so much. There are so many that I want to make into DIYs. A huge thanks to all the followers who have added me and already traded me some of my dream pets. I personally don't care that much about values and more about how cute they are. Mochi Meow is one of those pets which isn't hugely valuable in the game, but it just looks utterly adorable. In Adopt Me, you can have a normal version of a pet, a neon version, or a mega version, and these get progressively harder to obtain. I want to max out the difficulty level and make a Mega Mochi Meow. Instead of normal fur markings, Mega Mochi Meow has pulsating rainbow lights. To replicate this effect, I need to create a squishy with transparent areas that can transmit LEDs, which is a perfect opportunity to test out a brand new type of tabas silicone. This is a cream-textured clear gel, which produces a slow-rising texture similar to a Nido. It's basically the transparent version of the silicone from this video. The reason I need cream silicone is because the denser texture holds its shape much better. Regular transparent tabas gel is very flimsy, and I don't think it can stabilize details like thin and pointy cat ears. If the silicone flops over, then it won't be able to transmit light very well, and this won't look like a Mega Mochi Meow. However, I'm getting ahead of myself because we don't even have a mold yet. Since this is a custom tabas, I'm going to start by making a polymer clay model. I'm using this kit from Fimo Kids, and I like the fact it's also a cat. I need 4 packs of clay, and these shades mix together very nicely. I want the body roughly the same size as the dango penguin here. I'm cutting some smaller balls in half to make the feet and making sure these are very well attached. Then I'm sculpting some triangular ears and keeping them a bit thicker. I always cut away one side with scissors before attaching anything to the body because this gives you a perfectly sharp edge. Now I'm creating a deep indent to mark out the fur pattern. I'm simplifying this a bit from the real Mochi Meow design just to make my own life a bit easier. These patterns need to be clearly visible on the surface of the tabas in order for this entire DIY to work. So I'm really carving out the outlines and then smoothing down the edges to make it look clean. Then I'm going to bake this at 100 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Since this is a very complex 3D shape, I'm definitely using liquid silicone for the mold. I normally prefer silicone putty simply because it cures faster, but the chances of putty being able to pick up all the details on a shape like this is almost zero. To make a liquid silicone mold, you need to find a container that's just slightly bigger than your model. It shouldn't touch the sides anywhere because this will create a hole, but it also shouldn't be too big, otherwise you'll waste a lot of silicone trying to fill up the negative space. My dango penguin fit perfectly inside a yogurt pot, but the tail of the Mochi Meow is a bit too big. I found this flower pot which would work. When using non-flexible containers, it's incredibly important to cover everything with Vaseline. This makes it much easier to demold later on. I also recommend using disposable containers whenever you can. These could be yogurt cups, old bottles, or anything that you're planning to throw out anyway. Liquid silicone or tabas gel should never be poured down the sink, so it's often easier to discard the entire thing instead of trying to clean it out. Similarly, using an old container for the mold means you can simply cut it apart. I removed the top of this Fiji water bottle, which some of you might recognize from my water bubble TikToks. I'm using this type of molding silicone, which you can find easily on Amazon. You always need more than you think to fill up the negative space, so be sure to mix a lot. I thought this bottle could hold enough, but after pouring it in, I realized this is possibly the dumbest thing I've ever done. I should have mixed it in 2 separate batches, but there's no going back now. I know this is going to spill, but I just have to get on with it. The silicone needs to cover the entire polymer clay model with an extra centimeter on top because this will become the base. So here we are the next day, and I'm going to demold it carefully by running a knife along the edge. Then I'm using a scalpel to trim away some of the excess silicone and carefully cutting the model out of the mold. I find the easiest method is to make a clean vertical cut in a place that's not too obvious. It's not a big deal if the polymer clay breaks during this process because liquid molds tend to turn out perfect every time, so you won't have to redo it. The crack isn't a problem either, and it actually helps you demold the tabas later on. I simply wrap a hairband or elastic around it before pouring the silicone. As always, it's vital to grease the mold very well. It's also important to make sure there are no leftover crumbs of polymer clay, otherwise they can become embedded into the squishy. First, I want to make a plain white Mochi Meow, and I'm using up some leftover silicone from a craft kit. The idea behind this DIY is to make a fully white and a fully transparent version. Then I'm going to cut out the elements I need from each taba and piece them back together. This method gives me a lot more flexibility in the shapes and sizes. If I try to pour white and clear silicone into the same mold, then I have to constantly tilt the mold to ensure each layer occurs at the correct angle. And even so, it will be impossible to create more complex outlines, such as the curvy shape by the ear. It would also take absolutely ages since you have to wait hours for each batch to cure. This is the clear cream taba gel that I mentioned earlier. It has a really thick texture, almost like honey. I'm a bit worried about air bubbles here because the thicker a taba gel, the harder it is for small bubbles to rise to the top before everything cures. Even just pouring it into the mold produces air bubbles, and I'm trying my best to pop some of them with a stick. As I predicted, the final piece does look a bit cloudy, but most of it seems to be inside the body, which I won't need for later. This texture is really cool, and it's also less sticky than a typical taba. As you can see, the fur marking around the ear is visible on both squishies, so I'm going to use this as a guideline for cutting. First, I'm removing the white ear. I've been making a lot of customized tabas lately, and I realized there's so much potential in manually reshaping the silicone. I prefer to stretch the silicone before cutting to maximize the surface area. It's always better to make a few large cuts instead of many small ones, which will end up looking messy. Now I'm repeating the process with a clear taba so it fits perfectly in the space where the original ear was. This is essentially going to be a lid to hide all the electronics. I thought about using fairy lights or LED strips, but I really didn't like the idea of having wires coming out of a squishy. Luckily, I came across these, which are called balloon lights. They're designed to go inside balloons as party decorations. The great part is that the battery and LED are self-enclosed, and it's tiny enough to fit inside a squishy. Now I'm going to hollow out the body so there's space for at least 2 balloon lights. I originally wanted to make the feet and tail light up as well, but realistically, I think I can only go with 2. I'm sliding one inside for the left ear and then gluing it into place. Then I'm cutting out the feet and tail from both tabas and rearranging them to make the final design. I'm using E6000+, which is the only transparent glue I found that works well on silicone. The most important part when gluing squishies is to let everything dry completely before you try to touch or move it. Since tabas are so flexible, even the slightest movement can stretch the surface and rip apart the glue. So while the feet and tail are drying, I'm going to paint on the face. As usual, I'm using E6000 mixed with acrylic paint. This makes the paint slightly stickier and harder to work with, but it doesn't flake off as quickly. If you only use acrylic paint, then the color comes off very easily. Mochi Meow has these cute cheeks and whiskers which seem to be attached to each other. This also reminds me of those needle felt kitties I made when I first started YouTube. Once the glue is finally dry, I'm going to detach the feet from the table very carefully using lots of Vaseline. And now we finally have a real-life mega Mochi Meow. The final step is to activate and position the balloon light. When placed at a specific angle, the light really glows through the transparent taba. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Sometimes I make DIYs that aren't supposed to be tricky, but things keep going wrong, and other times I make DIYs which are incredibly complicated, but every step actually turns out fine. This is one of those, and it looks exactly how I imagined. I could definitely add more detail if everything was scaled up, but right now this looks good for the size. I hope you enjoyed this video and feel free to add me on Adopt Me so we can play together. I'm Joanna, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye!